right, you make investments in your financial plans. Why not invest in your life plans? Author and motivational speaker Sean Adams wrote the book, It's Okay to Be Crazy, and he is back to tell us how it is okay to invest in yourself. Good morning, Sean.
Good to see you.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
I do want to remind the folks at home, too, you guys are chatting live with us online. Be sure to chat in your questions because Bill Taylor is standing by at the chat room, and he's going to be taking your questions.
Bill, you can answer for me.
I have license, creative license.
Yeah.
Go ahead and do it.
So we want to remind everybody there. But let's talk to you, Sean, about this because I thought this was so interesting, investing in your own life plans. And that is, you say vested interest equals human capital. What do you mean by that? What is human capital?
Well, I'm a geek. I told y'all that before. I'm an old economics major, and human capital is everything that we are. The way we invest ourselves, it's our intellectual property, it's our relationships. It's kind of the difference between Bill Gates and the regular average Joe. If you take Bill Gates, take everything he has from a monetary perspective, take everything except the clothes on his back, he'll have another job tomorrow because of his relationships, because of his education, all the human capital that he's invested in himself over time.
You say relationships, if you invest in your relationships, in your personal relationships,
Absolutely.
your work relationships, your friendships, invest in yourself, then you can really produce a lot of human capital. And human capital meaning success.
It means success. And again, we talk about it all the time. Success means something different for everybody. But we have to invest in ourselves. Are you crazy enough to invest in yourself and make the investments you need so that the outputs that you produce, we're all this play. If you like the old movie Dead Poets Society, life is a play. Right. What will your verse be? What's the production that you're going to give to the world?
You use the word production too, and so it almost sounds like we are sort of like a manufacturing company. What are you going to manufacture? What is your end product going to be?
Right, and at the end of the day, I've always kind of teased, and I tease my kids about this as well. When my last days are done, and I hope I'm dying on a bed, and my kids and my grandkids and families around me, I don't want an arrow in my quiver. I want to be empty. I want to have shot everything I have and taken every shot that I have tried to take, and that's the way I want to go.
Why do you say that? Why do you say it that way?
Because it's almost an impoverished notion to me to sit back and I didn't fail much, but I didn't try much, and I sit here and I had all this stuff within me, all these gifts and talents, my gifts, talents, and abilities, all this stuff within me, but I didn't try. I didn't invest in those things that I saw early. And when I talk about parents and I talk about important people, you need to ask those people. When I was thinking about majoring, or what I was going to major in college, when schools were coming to recruit me for football and track, I was saying, I went to my parents and was like, hey, where are my skill sets?
Right.
What things can I do to enhance and make a life for myself? And we got to figure that stuff out. Then we got to invest in those and see what comes from it.
Is it almost like if you say, I always hear people say, I want to run my first marathon. Invest in your health. Invest in how you're going to get to that finish line.
Well,
right?
You have to invest because it has to be more than want to. It's like a sporting event. Now, of course, I go back to sports all the time. But it's like a sporting event. Everybody wants to win.
Right.
I mean, that's why the band shows up. That's why the cheerleaders cheer. That's why everybody's doing their thing. But for the folks that are in the middle of the sport, are you willing to invest what it takes to win? Are you willing to hit the weight room? Are you willing to spend the practice time? Am I willing to develop the relationship with my teammates? Am I willing to invest everything it takes? There's a price to pay for any dream you want to ride on. Are you willing to pay the price? And that's an investment.
Those are a lot of questions you can ask yourself. And if you say yes, 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 yes to all of them, then start investing.
Absolutely.
Right.
And that's the way it goes. We have to figure out where our investment lies, what the output of that, and it's inputs and outputs.
Okay, one last thing I want to ask you because we got a lot more to talk about, and that is if you have goals in life, definitely take a look at some of your investments and follow through with them, right?
One of the funniest things about goals, most of the time it's not that we set the goal so high we can't reach it, it's that we set the goal so low that we do reach it. We limit ourselves in what we're able to do, and that's why we have to check with people around us and let them see the gifts that we have within us.
All right. Okay, well, you're going to stay here with us, and you're going to stick around because later in the show we're going to talk to you again, Sean Adams, about what to do next once you do set your goals, and that's why we have our book here. All right, well, stick around, okay?
Thank you so much.
Stay with us, everybody. We'll be right back.
It's time to start thinking about.
Welcome back. We are back with Sean Adams, author of It's Okay to Be Crazy, and we were talking earlier in the show about investing in yourself. Now people want to know, how can we go ahead and achieve our goals now that we've set them? And one of our chatters, Kathy Pullen, had asked this question: how important is being true to yourself, and how do you know if you truly are?
Well, it's very important to be true to yourself, and that's one of the things you have to ask your question. The first chapter in this book is called "Who Am I?" When I look in the mirror, can I look through my eyes and see my soul and know exactly who I am and what I need to do? We got to ask those questions, because what we have to realize is that human capital is not transferable. I can't give it to my kids. I can't give it to anybody else. It's ultimately personal. So I have to know who I am in order to achieve the success that I can.
So is it almost like knowing your abilities, knowing what you've already invested in yourself in order to be true to yourself?
I think it's a lot of that. And I think many times we get bogged down in things that sometimes make a struggle for us. We talk about jobs all the time. You know, I like the old Chris Rock saying when he says, when you got a job, there's not enough hours in a day. I mean, when you got a job, you can't wait to get off work. When you got a career, there's not enough hours in the day. So if you look at it that way and kind of figure out, do I enjoy what I'm doing? Am I growing and developing? I really truly believe that you really can't be ultimately large part successful if you're not working within the space of your own ability.
It's really important to enjoy what you're doing.
Yeah.
Because you'll be spending, you know, not just 8 hours, but at least 10 hours a day.
Well, absolutely.
Yeah.
And mind you, any career, even when you love it's not fun. You have your down times, you have your up times, but ultimately when you close your eyes at night, when you get in bed by yourself, that's when my father used to always say, that's who you are. When you're in bed by yourself and the lights are off and you think about yourself, that's who you really are.
I like how you've also mentioned, too, that nobody else can do this for you. You're the only one who can do this for yourself.
Well, at the end of the day, all of our dreams are so important. Like I said earlier, there's a price for every dream you want to get on. For every ride, it's like an amusement park. But here's the deal. Nobody can do it for you. Nobody should do it for you. And your dreams are too important to be in the hands of another person anyway.
Exactly. Now I want to go to Bill, because I think Bill's got a question from one of our chatters.
Yeah, I just want to know, this is actually from me. How do you know how to be honest with yourself? I think you have to start with just looking at yourself and saying, okay, here's what I'm capable of, here's what I'm not capable of. I mean, how do you get to that square one?
Well, I think part of that is understanding who you are, understanding that jealousy is ridiculous. I'll end up losing out on my gifts because I'm worried that I don't have yours. I got to figure out what gifts I have, line those up, and try to drive those to success.
All right.
I can't drive your gifts to success.
You got to drive your own gifts
Right.
to success. Okay, so once again, Sean Adams, he says it's okay to be crazy, and we believe it. To purchase his book, be sure to log on to his website, SeanAdams.net, and also check out our website, kens5.com/greatday. Sean, it's always a pleasure to have you here.
I love being here.
Come back. Come back. We love it when you're here. Well, stay with us, everybody. We'll be right back.
Proud of you, son.
Thanks, Dad.